I open, close my curly brackets, then I put whatever I want here. So, what's happening here? When the goals are greater than 1, it evaluates to true, and that's what is in here. But when this evaluates to false, it's going to go to the else. So when this is false, it goes to the else, in which case we can say maybe Asno scored no goals. So now we have two statements. If this evaluates to true, what happens? This expression here is checked. If this evaluates to true, it runs this. If this evaluates to false, if this is false, then it runs what is inside the else. So let's try this out. You can see Aston scored no goals because the goals scored are less than 1. So that is a typical if-else statement. If checks if the expression there evaluates to true. If that expression there evaluates to true, it runs what is in there. If it is false, it runs what is inside the else. So your program runs okay, very okay, 100% okay without the else. But then you have no feedback to the user in case whatever's up there does not evaluate to true. Clear questions? Yeah. Question?
This is
find his slides where I'll be putting all sorts of material inside there for you. Okay. Anyway, so So now, the next step is, here we are assuming that we have just two options. In this case here as well, we have Arsenal girls, either they have scored or they haven't scored, but sometimes you might need to check more than that. Maybe you want to check and you want to make a comment based on the number of goals they have scored. So it might be something like, maybe if Arsenal goals maybe are, for example, less than, if they are less than 2, if they are less than 2, if they are less than or equal to 2, then you like, okay, Arsenal scored. Alright? That's the less than equal to 2. But maybe what if they have scored actually more than that? In that case there, we have what we refer to as an else if. Okay? We can add an else if, and we can have as many else ifs as possible. If you remember from the example I gave you, at the beginning, to be familiar with code, you had grades. With grades, you have, you're checking maybe grade A, grade B, grade C, you have several things you are checking. In that case there, you can have a bunch of else if statements. What it means is, you can have an if, okay, that's doing its work there, then whatever is going to happen for the if is going to be in here. Then you can have, again, this for study purposes, you can always put this in the next line. Me as a style, I like to put it here. You have your else, if, same thing, open close brackets, and then you put the curly brackets for whatever code is going to be in there. Now you can have as many as possible of these here as you deem necessary. Okay? Then finally at the end, you have your else statement. So what happens here is, it comes checking from the top. It's like, alright, is this condition true? If it is evaluates to true, it runs whatever we have in here. If it's false, it comes and checks this one here. If it's false, it comes and checks this one here. If this is also false, then it runs the else. Okay, so that is how you can bunch together a group of else if statements. So let us say you could have something like, if, say, as the girls, if they are less than 2, in that case there, let's print something like as was scored. And forget, you need to have your semicolon there. You check the condition. So this one, if it's less than 2. But then also you want to check what if it is now less than 4. Then you have another statement you can put in here. Something like maybe that was a lot of girls. Then you have another one checking here, maybe if the goals are actually greater, you could put maybe something here, because you have not checked if the goals were less than 2, and then if they're less than 4. Now what you might have noticed is we have done the double check here. By checking less than 4, we are checking if the goals are greater than 2, but less than 4. By doing this check here. Okay. We shall look at it more clearly. Implicitly, we have done that. Now, once again, the semicolon there. So now this time here we're checking if it's maybe now greater than let's say we say we check it's greater than or equal to 4 goals, then you can have something else you print there. And you can say And then finally, for all other situations, what do you want to say? In my case, I would want to write, I would say I want to print something like no way, not possible. So what happens here? If, say, for example, let's take a situation whereby if Arsenal goals are, if it's 1, what is going to be printed? If Arsenal has 1 goal, what's going to be printed? Yeah. Okay. What if we have 6 goals? We have 6 goals. How do we print it? If we have 6 goals, yeah, that was definitely good. Right. What if we have 12 goals? Yeah, that was unbelievable. Okay. Do we have a situation whereby it's going to enter the else? What situation? Else. When is it going to print else? Like, no way, not possible. Yeah? 0. No. Yeah? When will it print the else? Okay, so generally speaking, we're supposed to say kind of won't, because the if statement takes care of things, takes care of 1 and everything less than 1. The final else if takes care of everything greater than 4. But that's not the point of the else in this situation here. Sometimes code does funny things. Code can do funny things. In case something funny happens, we are going to take care of that here with this statement. Of course, you can arrange your code a bit differently for this statement actually have something actual that it actually has. But it's not uncommon for you to have here something like invalid input or something similar. But that is the gist of it. You have if, you can have just a bunch of if else. And with an if else, it checks if this evaluates to true. If it is true, it runs what is under there. If it is not true, it runs what is in the else. In this case here, we have an if, a bunch of else ifs. We can have as many of them as possible, and to check them until it finds one that is true. So it will, if, say we have 6 goals, if this value here is 6, it's going to check here, is less than 2, false, is less than 4, false, is it greater than or equal to 4, true, then it will run this. Now that is if, else if, else if, else. You can have as many else ifs as you want. Now it is possible for you, for some reason that you have, you may have, it's like, let's say, in this case here, we are checking for all goals greater than or equal to 4. Okay, so all goals greater than or equal to 4. But here's the thing. You don't always just need to have one statement in here. You could have a bunch of statements. You can print that. You can print something else, whatever else you want. Basically what happens is, as long as this is true, it's going to do everything that is inside this. Anytime you're confused, when you click the first bracket here, it will show you where the closing bracket is. So when you enter in here, it will do everything in here. So this is about printing. There's so many things you can have inside an else if statement, inside an if statement. We could also have another if statement. So, for example, in our case here, we have if Arsenal have more than 4 goals, do something here. We can put another if statement like else if it's more than 4 goals, let's check. It's more than 4, right? But is 8 less than? It's more than 4, but is 8 still maybe less than maybe a value like 7? You get it? So it's by coming here, we're entering here because whatever value we have there is more than or equal to 4. Now in here I check, yes, it's more than or equal to 4, but let's check again. Is 8 less than 7? If it's less than 7, we can put is it less than, let me say, 7? We can put something else in here like first we say that was a lot of girls. Now we can say something else like that was I don't know, a lot of girls. Okay. So we have the else if, and again within it we have another if statement. This is some kind of a nested if statement. Okay, it could also be here. You have an if statement. Within the if statement, you have another if statement. Within that if statement, you have another if statement. In that case, there you have a nested if statement. You have if statements within if statements. So it's a nested if statement. So that is about if and else if statement. Now I'm going to show you something referred to as switch case, and we are going to go through the slides proper, but I want to first show you from a practical perspective. Now, sometimes you have a fixed value, like in our case here, we have a goal. We have goals. So, by the way, question? If we all understand what's happening there, and somehow the if case in us, that building block of so you can understand it very well. Okay. Okay. So it asks, what if we had a draw? So this one is a simple example that I wanted to show you. But I'm, of course, going to give you a small exercise later on. We're going to have a things. Right now, it's a win. We're just looking at goals scored. But we could look at, say, and we look only at Arsenal. How about we could have 2 variables instead of having 1? We could have Arsenal goals and maybe United goals. In that case, there, instead of just looking at one team's goals, we could have 2 teams' goals and compare it. So you compare if Arsenal's goals greater than United's goals, in that case there, Arsenal have won. Okay? And within that, you can add something in there and begin checking that number of goals that have been scored. In that case, they can check is Arsenal's goals equal to United's goals. You check if that is equal, then you know it's a draw. So that's the comparison you can make. And also, as you're going to see, sometimes we don't only check one situation. You can see here we checked if Arsenal's goals are greater than or equal to 4. And then within that if statement, we check if the goals are less than 7. Now, you can do this in one line, okay? Because if you look at this, what you're checking for is, are the goals greater than or equal to 4? And are the goals less than 7? So instead of having this here, you could have, and I'm going to show you that in the slides, there's something referred to an and. In that case there, our and, we use a symbol like so, like so. So, are Arsenal's goals greater than or equal to 4? And are those goals also less than 7? And if we have that, we can remove that. Okay, so we have done both of those within the same line. We are checking if the goals are greater than 4 and also less than 7. Okay, so you have this symbol here. Now, there is a logic we're going to see, start going to add. This is and, there is or. I hope you also know that. And, you know, and both of them are going to be not logicable. 1, 1, and 1 is, you know, 1 and 1 is 1, 1 and 0 is 1. What's that? Okay, yeah, there's and, there's or, there's not. So those same rules apply, and we're going to look at them. So now, we have combined these two here. We could have had, okay, no, it won't make sense in this case here, but the or is written using, using this. On my keyboard is just above the forward slash, above the forward slash. That's what I'm used for or. So this is used for or. Now, looking at how I have changed my code, what is going to happen when Arsenal scores 10 goals? What's going to be printed if Arsenal scores 10 goals? Yeah? Yeah? Yeah, in that case, there's going, so you can see this case here, our else is going to be brought into the whole equation, and yeah, we know it's not possible. Alright, questions? Anyone have any issues? I think I'm going to with that.